Welcome to Live Wires for the Win Season 4. 10 live wires will be given the unique opportunity to share their creativity with the world and become the next top live wire. I'm your host, Heather Boyd, and this is Live Wires for the Win Season 4. 5 weeks of wire art challenges count down to one winner of the grand prize, a collaboration video on my YouTube channel, a $100 gift certificate for my Etsy shop, and $200 in supplies and tools from Beadalon. Your judges will be wire artist Heather Boyd and multimedia artist and author Patricia Strigley. Viewers will have the opportunity to vote for their favorite creations and give feedback on the work. Hello, Live Wires. Heather Boyd Wire here, and welcome to Live Wires for the Win Season 4. This is the finale. I can hardly believe it. And welcome back, Patricia, our judge. Hi, Patricia. And this week, we have a very special guest judge. We have Meredith Roddy from Beadalon. Hi, Meredith.
Hey, Heather, thank you so much for having me.
So happy you're here. So for those of you who don't already know, you might have already seen Meredith doing live streams on the Beadalon Facebook page. We've done a couple of duos together over there. Meredith is the Business Development and Product Marketing Manager of Beadalon.
I'm glad that you said it, Heather, because I had my card at the ready to be able to read my title out. I can never remember it either.
And as everybody knows, Beadalon is supplying the $200 grand prize for the finalist, the winner of Live Wires for the Win. And also, Beadalon supplies most of the wire and tools that I use for my tutorials. And I've been a huge artistic wire fan for years and recently getting into German style wires. So that's been super fun. Meredith, can you tell us just a little bit about Beadalon?
Absolutely. Beadalon has been manufacturing beading wire in the United States in Coatesville, which is right up the road from where I sit, for almost 50 years. So we are a wire mill, a plant that runs, I think we're 24/7, at least five, maybe six or seven. It kind of depends on how production is. But we make the wire here in America, and I'm really, really proud to be a part of the company. We also sell all kinds of stringing materials and tools and accoutrement for all of your wire making and beading needs.
That's awesome. And you guys have the coolest gadgets. Everybody knows I love me a wire making gadget, and you guys have me covered for that. That's for sure.
And we really appreciate your support too, Heather.
Oh, well, I'm very, very happy. We're a great team.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's get started, guys. I can hardly believe we are in the finale, and I am going to just pull up the work so everybody can get a little refresher. So first we have Laura, and Laura writes, my project depicts the tesseract in a wrinkle of time as tornadoes as they swoop down and sweep up the current reality, altering the time-space continuum as we know it. The clock is wonky and askew as the universe spins out of control. The present reality is indistinguishable as it is caught up in the vortex. My hope is to convey the feeling of wind, chaos, turbulence, and time out of place with this piece. I hope you can feel it. Made with chicken wire, recycled wire mesh, recycled electrical wire, and 16 gauge red aluminum wire. It's 15.5 inches tall and is a freestanding sculpture utilizing a piece of soapstone as the base. Laura sent a few photos, so here's a close-up of the clock, the full piece, and some more details with the soapstone, and in progress, and another with her material. So let's go back to the main picture. And Patricia, what did you think of Laura's piece?
Oh, I found it very impressive. I liked the overall movement of it. It was really dynamic, how these two tornadoes are surrounding time. I like the red swirl in the middle. It really stands out as Laura said, the wonkiness of the piece. So yeah, and it's a good size and freestanding is amazing. So yeah, very impressive piece. I really liked it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's very difficult to get a piece like that to stand, especially with the size and the weight of the wire and the chicken wire. And I loved how it looked so cohesive with the soapstone almost looks like it's silver. I really love the way Laura uses the chicken wire to make a very more massive and three-dimensional piece. And then how she's strung thicker wire around the outside. It's a nice combination of the chicken wire with straight up wire, and that she's used the rock to make it stand. It's really cool. And I love how she hasn't done chicken wire in all of her challenges, so it's nice. There's been a bit of variety, and then this one is a culmination of her different pieces using the different styles of wire making. I do agree. I love the red, how it pops out, the red spiral in the middle of the clock. So I think she did a wonderful job. It's really nice. And Meredith, what did you think of Laura's piece?
I echo both of your sentiments and just add that I was just so impressed with this piece. I was very impressed by how she took the theme and really expounded upon it and illustrated it so clearly. It's a tough theme, A Wrinkle in Time and the Tesseract and the tornadoes. And looking at it and listening to the description that she provided as well, you can really see her thought process and how she was able to execute that so well through the medium of wire.
She did a really great job. It's a super fun piece, and I could definitely see that on display in someone's house. So great job, Laura. So next we have Linda, and Linda writes, instead of going with a direct theme with the movie novels, I thought, what better way to visualize a wrinkle in time than Dali's iconic melting clock? A wrinkle in time is the space between seconds where the clock moves slower and time is bending. If you have ever looked at a clock and something doesn't quite seem right, you are seeing that wrinkle in time. That brief glance where numbers may be upside down, sideways, backwards, look again, and the wrinkle has smoothed with things back to normal. I used 20 gauge bare copper artistic wire to wrap a frame made out of dollar store wire. The numbers are done also with red wire from the dollar store. I used black 26 gauge wire to attach some of the pieces to the frame and 20 gauge for the writing. Linda was actually the wild card participant. So she had been eliminated and then she got brought back last week. So that was really exciting. Meredith, what did you think of Linda's piece?
I really liked Linda's piece. It took me a little while to kind of see from the photograph what was really going on. And what strikes me is when you're working with wire, it's really easy to bend your wire out of shape by accident. But it's very difficult to do it so deliberately, to create a feeling, to create a vision, to create an interpretation of the theme. And she does that really well. She bends the wire and uses the wire very deliberately to create that wrinkle in time. And I was really very impressed by how she did that.
Here, this is more a straight on picture. I'll just show people and then I'm going to go back here. And I agree with you. It's very tricky to make things look kind of organic like that. You would think it would be easy. And that's why often when I do larger pieces like that, I just don't even use tools. I find it so much easier just to do it organically and almost let the wire direct you in what you're doing. And it looks like she's used aluminum wire, so it's quite soft. So it's a perfect medium. And I always like when people think outside the box with the theme. I really like when people just go their own route and interpreting this theme using Dali. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a great idea. And we know that piece from a painting, but to see it in a sculptural form is even next level. Very, very interesting. I think Dali would have approved, definitely. And Patricia, what did you think of Linda's piece?
I love the concept. Being an artist, yeah, I really, really appreciated it. And the red really stands out with the black and the copper. So I felt the colors were a nice contrasting choice. And it was fun how the numbers are mixed up. Some are backwards, some are forwards, and it's fun to look at each number and see how it's going. I loved the wrinkliness of it, and I felt she really captured Dali's melting clock. Yeah, I really love this piece.
Great job, Linda. So next we have Ashita, and Ashita writes, for this week's theme, A Wrinkle in Time, I made this piece which can be used as a wall hanging or can be framed. This piece shows my entire life in front of you, from being a baby to 22 years old adult. The main frame is me right now, a 22-year-old, thinking about how life has been till now and how fast the time has changed. Like when I was a little kid, I used to think how good old people, adults' life is. They don't have to study or give exams, but now that I'm an adult myself, whenever I look back into time, I feel like the best time of my life was when I was a little kid away from all the worries of the world. Now that I think about these things, I feel like how fast things have changed by the passing of time, while the time is passing very fast, as if there's a wrinkle in time and my life is in that wrinkle where the time passes by faster than usual. Here in this piece, I traced one of my current pictures to make the face and then made two kinetic clocks in the part where my head should be. I made gear underneath to be able to rotate them, and in between some silhouettes showing me as a baby, then as a little kid, then a teenager, that can be extended and retreated and can be rotated with the help of a clock hand. I used 18, 20, 22, and 26 gauge wire. So I'm going to go through the photos, and Ashita sent also a video. So here's a close-up of the face and the gears and the figures and the clocks. So here is the gear. And there, she's just manipulating it. So Patricia, what did you think of Ashita's piece?
Oh, the concept is really well represented here. It's very thought-provoking. Our past is so much of a part of us, and you can see her past, and it is going into her head rather than coming out of her head. So I thought, there's a lot of thoughtful process going on here, and her figures are really well formed. They look like a pencil sketch and really well done. It's kinetic, and that's amazing that it can actually move and these figures will go back into her head. So very impressive.
And Meredith, what did you think of Ashita's work?
Patricia, I echo your comment, but that's what struck me so quickly about this piece is how well those figures are formed. And that was really what impressed me the most. The face is so simple, a simple line drawing, but so perfectly representative. And I've not met Ashita, but I imagine that that is probably exactly what she looks like as well. And I was really impressed by the stages of her life as well. It's interesting to hear someone who, in my perspective, is so young, speaking so wisely about the passing of time and about being present in realizing her passage of time. And I'm so happy for her that she has so much to look forward to with so much insight into herself and into the world around her.
I triple vote on the figures. They're really, really well done. Ashita has a lovely style of doing her figures with kind of tracing the silhouette, and it's a really effective way to portray sort of the movement, the look, in this case, the evolution from baby up to her present time. And Ashita always puts a lot of thought into her ideas, into her concept, the process. You can really tell she's very introspective, and it comes across in her work. And super fun that she added the kinetic side of things. At the end, it's fun to see how people want to really put their energy into something really special and something different. And I could see she's put a lot of time and thought into this piece, and not easy making a piece that moves. It works really well with her concept. So she did a really great job. Awesome, Ashita. So next we have Amy, and Amy writes, another fun week. This time I took inspiration from the book and incorporated 3 main characters and the wings of the Pegasus from another character, Mrs. Whatsit, that they flew around on. The figure 8 weave on the wings can definitely be seen like literal wrinkles. The braided frame holds the silhouette profiles of the 3 main characters, Meg, Charles, and Calvin. It also doubles as a piece similar to an easel to hold the piece up. The wings appear they could fly off with them at any moment the way I created it. I sent pictures of a few angles so you can see how it props itself up. Materials used 20 gauge copper wire, 26 gold colored wire, 26 copper wire, 18 gauge gold colored wire, 18 gauge copper wire, and 21 gauge half round copper wire. Amy sent a few pictures. So here's straight on where you can see the face silhouettes. And then you see the side view or how it's propped up, and then that one there. So I'm going to go here and I'll start with Amy. So Amy always does really lovely work. Her craftsmanship is impeccable. She definitely has a penchant for gold colored wire. Her pieces are very elegant, very lovely. I love the little faces with the swirly hair. They're super cute. And she's really done a lot of detail with the twisting around the frame and then the wings with all that weaving. And I liked her analogy of the way it stood up was like an easel. So it's like its own little work of art. A very pretty piece, really lovely work. And Patricia, what did you think of Amy's piece?
It's very beautiful. I was impressed with how symmetrical her wings are, especially because they look at, quite a large size. And they are symmetrical and beautifully woven. Her framing of the figures, again, it's that nice solid wrapped wire. And yeah, her figures are all very cute. I have to admit, I haven't read the book A Wrinkle in Time or seen the movie. So I was less familiar with a lot of these elements. So the write-ups really helped. But yeah, really beautifully made. And I like how it stands up by itself.
And Meredith, what did you think of Amy's work?
One of the things that impresses me so much about people who do sculptural wire work like this is that you really have to think about every step of the way before you even start. And there's so many intentional construction thoughts and pre-planning that go into this piece. And I like being able to see after the fact all of the decisions that were made by the artist as she was constructing it. I also love all of the different techniques that went into this. So if I'm thinking about it as from concept to reality, there were so many decisions that were made. How am I going to make the wings? How will I connect them together in the middle with that big half round wire wrap? How will I make everything so this large piece stands in balance? How will I construct it so it's visually appealing, but also structurally sound? There's so many interesting things in this beautiful piece that went into it. And that's what really impresses me and what draws me to it. Because not only is it beautiful to look at, but there's so much thought and care into its actual construction that is really impressive.
Yeah, I totally agree. A very beautiful, balanced piece. Yeah, nice job, Amy. So before we get to the fun part of choosing the winner of Live Wires for the Win, we are going to have a look at the viewer's choice. I want to thank all the viewers for voting this week and for leaving all your wonderful feedback. People will be able to see the viewers' feedback on the Facebook page. So on the Live Wires for the Win Facebook page, we're going to have pictures of all the work, all the viewers' feedback, and I really appreciate the time that people took to reflect on the work and to give such great feedback for the participants. And then without further ado, the viewer's choice for this week for the finale was Amy. So congratulations, Amy, on being the viewer's choice this week. And so now, before we get into the final results, we have a very, very special Award this year. Some of you may remember that way back in season 1, the winner of Live Wires for the Win was Tim Rentz, and he did beautiful work. This is a piece that he actually sent me. Patricia has a piece of his as well. Gorgeous work and beautiful, beautiful work in the Wiremakers Club on Facebook. But very sadly, Tim passed away last summer. We were very, very saddened to hear this news, and I wanted to honor Tim. So we have created the Tim Rentz Award. This year we'll be a member from the Live Wires for the Win community. Next year it might be a member from the Wiremakers Club, but I really want to honor Tim, and he was so prolific in the group. He created such amazing work, has his own YouTube channel, which is still standing with his tutorials up there. I wanted to give this award to someone who has consistently participated in Live Wires for the Win, shown great enthusiasm, great creativity, and was actually the very first person to apply for Live Wires for the Win when it was barely a concept in my head, and I threw it out there for people to come and explore their wire making skills. And the winner of the Tim Rentz Award this year is Sharon Silver. So congratulations, Sharon, for being the winner of the Tim Rentz Award. I really would like this award to be a way to remember Tim and his creativity. His creative spirit lives on in our hearts and in this community. So now comes the fun part where we get to choose the winner of Live Wires for the Win Season 4. And be sure, guys, to stay tuned for next year that we'll have a call for entry for season 5. So stay tuned, follow the Facebook page, stay tuned for updates on that. What we are going to do is, as in previous episodes, we are going to tell you our favorites from most favorite to least favorite for episode 5. And then we are also going to look at the overall to get an idea of who should be the top live wire for season 4. So Patricia, can you please give me your list from most favorite for the finale?
Number 1 is Linda. Number 2 is Laura. Number 3 is Ashita. And number 4 is Amy.
Perfect. And Meredith, who were your 4 in order?
This was one hard choice to make, but after deliberating myself, my order is number 1, Laura, number 2, Amy, number 3, Ashita, and number 4, Linda.
Perfect. And my choices were number 1, Laura, number 2, Ashita, number 3, Amy, and number 4, Linda. Now we're going to do the overall for all 5 episodes. So Meredith, who were your in order for your overall picks?
For my overall picks, and I loved being able to go back and see everybody's work as a total over the course of all of the competitions. So my overall picks, 1 is Ashita, 2, Laura, 3, Linda, and 4, Amy. But everybody's work was outstanding.
And Patricia?
Yeah, for overall, my number 1 pick was Laura, number 2, Linda, number 3, Ashita, and number 4, Amy. But it was all such beautiful work, and it was very hard to rate it.
My choices for overall favorite were number 1, Linda, number 2, Laura, number 3, Amy, and number 4, Ashita. So when we tally up the numbers, we're counting up the points. So from 1 to 4, and the lowest number ends up being the highest ranking for the finale. The numbers were Laura with 4 points, Ashita with 8 points, Amy with 9 points, and Linda with 9 points. And then the overall was Laura with 5 points, Linda with 6 points, Ashita with 8 points, and Amy with 11. So now the total, we have Laura with 9, Linda with 15, Ashita with 16, and Amy with 20. So the top Livewire and the winner of season 4 of Livewires for the Win is Laura. Congratulations, Laura, for being the top Livewire for season 4. Congratulations, Linda, Amy, and Ashita, for your amazing creations in the finale. And thank you to Beadalon for supplying the $200 prize for Laura. Laura will also be able to choose $100 worth of things from my Etsy shop. And we will be doing a collaboration video on my YouTube channel. And I wanted to thank all the participants from day one for sharing their incredible creations. You guys can see all their work on the Facebook page and see the previous episodes with all of their work. I want to thank you, Meredith, for being a guest judge on Livewires for the Win. It's always a pleasure to see you.
You as well. Thank you so much, Heather. This was great. It's a lot of fun.
My pleasure, and we'll look forward to season 5 as well. And thank you, Patricia, for always hopping on and being a judge with me. We have so much fun.
Oh, it's so fun to see all the work, and I look forward to doing this. Thank you.
Awesome. Amazing. So thanks so much, everybody. And stay tuned for a call for entry for season 5. And we will see you the next time. Bye.